What's the choice? Receive. You have a choice of sides. Yeah, I'm going to need that. My memory's not that good. Thank you.
All right, does he have the clock on? Welcome to the 2020 APTA National Championships presented by our local sponsor BTIG and APTA national sponsors Viking and Uline. We are live from the Country Club of Darien in Fairfield County, Connecticut on the APTA network presented by Enet Live. I'm Jerry Viant along with Patty Hogan bringing you the women's quarterfinal between the number 6 seeds Macy Elliott and Marcela Rodezno, playing the number 2 seeds Martina Ondrejkova and Anna Maria Zubori. And Patty, this is some match. I'm looking forward to the athleticism, the racket skills of all 4 women on the court. It's a little gusty.
Jerry, we're in for a treat here on the far side. To the left of the screen in the green jacket, that's our assistant pro right here at Darien Country Club of Darien. That's Macy Elliott. And to the right of the screen, that's her partner, Marcela Rodezno. And we're looking forward to a rematch of the semifinals from the Philly Open, the last Grand Prix on the APTA Tour. And, you know, that's where Ondrejkova, Zubori pulled through. Oh, no, they lost that one, right, Jerry? 7-5, 6-2.
Yep.
Okay. And the near side, in her signature white, Martina Ondrejkova, former national champion with Gabby Nicolescu. And to her left is the wonderfully talented Anna Zubori. She's got her fan base is growing, Jerry. You can see when we get a shot of the grandstand, she's got the fans out there. This is going to be a wonderful match for everyone to watch.
Glad the sun's out. That's all I can say.
So down the far side, let's just talk about the hometown pro here. I mean, I expect the Mark Bliss, hang on, our umpires introducing
National
the players.
Championships. This is a women's quarterfinal match, which features on my left from Stamford, Connecticut, Martina Ondrejkova, her partner Anna Maria Zubori from Westport, Connecticut. On my right, from Darien, Connecticut, Macy Elliott, her partner Marcela Rodezno from Monroe, Connecticut. You like that?
Yeah. All right, well,
Elliott Rodezno won the spin of the racket, have elected to receive The match is best 2 out of 3 tiebreak sets. Ball rotation every 7 games.
All right, so let's go back to the hometown girl here, and you're going to hear the crowd. They're a factor. They're very excited because the assistant racket professional here, Macy Elliott, I mean, they were unseeded at the beginning of the season, she and Marcella Rodezno, and they are now ranked 6th in this tournament. So they've had some incredible wins, and you mentioned in the last tournament, the APTA Grand Prix Tour in Philly, they beat Domenico Gebbia, and then they beat Ondrejkova Zubori. So this is a rematch of that, and they lost in the finals to Cooper and Harnish, the #1 team in the country. So from Chicago, where they made it to the semifinals, through Chicago was in November,
Also, ladies,
through
to
to
remember
March,
that,
their
between
rise
sets,
has been dramatic.
They're also
And
gonna
Marcella
let me know when they're
has
ready with
always
their
been a
pre-game
solid, smooth player.
lather,
She
you know what I
doesn't
mean,
have
whatever you
any
wanna
real
call it.
weaknesses.
So,
In fact, her
take your
biggest
time,
strength
ready
is
to
she
take
doesn't
serve.
have any weaknesses. And her forehand, when she's confident, she
One-
can
one
hit it.
note of caution for the
And
win.
I've loved
The net's a
watching the
little loose.
growth of Macy Elliott. As you can see, she's seeing the court. She's hitting her forehand. I was talking to her before, and I said, "What's your favorite shot?" And she says, "You should say my block lob." I'm like, I don't think so. I think she's got a big roller that she likes to hit at net, the overhead, and of course her forehand. She loads up. So I bet Ondrejkova Zubori
Yes,
have
received
given
it.
some thought to what happened in Philly. How do you see Ondrejkova Zubori's game, Patty?
I mean, I love watching them play. There was a wonderful feature about Anna Zubori and how, when we see her play, her love of the game is apparent. She's got trick shot after trick shot.
She's like a human highlight reel, right?
She goes to be on that highlight reel, Jerry, it seems pretty often. But she's so talented, has an incredible story, and she plays for the joy of the game, with the love of the game. And we both know when you have the passion, that's going to take you really far if you put in the hard work, preparation. For a top team, they've not played as many tournaments as some of the other top teams. And they lost the ranking, the #1 ranking, only recently after Philly to Hanisch and Cooper. But they've kind of been #1 all throughout this season. And Martina did win a national title right here 4 years ago.
All right, let's take a look at the drawer. And can we make it bigger? Because I can't see it.
Yeah,
Can
my
you see it,
glasses
Patty?
are only 150s.
There we go. All right, so they're down the bottom on Ondrejkova Zubori. You see the #2 seeds. They had a 2-1 victory over Curtis and Jaffe. Jaffe playing her first tournament. She had elbow surgery. And Rodezno, Elliott, Nutting Williamson. Did you do that match yesterday?
I did, Jerry.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that second set, 6-2, 7-6.
Well, your point about Rodezno and her forehand is amazing, given that yesterday her two-handed backhand was one of the differences in the match, and their overall consistency. And to your point, she's got every shot in the book. There's no weakness in her game. That match, Jacqueline Williamson almost took charge of the second set, and I thought it was going to go 3. And then Rodezno and Elliott just sort of tightened up at the very end and pulled that match out.
So let's have a look. All the seeds came through. So you've got Cooper
8
Harnish.
for 8, Jerry. Congratulations to the ranking and seating committee.
Yeah. You can see Morgan Sakura had a 3-set with Manley and Ruoff, and then Domenico Gebbia through, Prop and Spiz. Nice to see them at Nationals. So all the seeds, we did the match with Guillaume Molenveld, and of course Dardis and Shea. Is this going to be the year that they
1 minute.
win the national title?
Well, Jerry, as you know, as someone who's won them a ton, you take one match at a time, and there's a lot of anticipation building around the wonderful team of Dardis and Shea, and they've won everything but this event. And so, again, I mean, we have so many of these phenomenal players out of Connecticut, and it's great to be right here in Darien for the national
Yeah, there'll
national
be
championship.
a lot of crowd support for sure. So as we can see, the players are taking their warm-up serves. And I think the person with the lowest ball toss here, Macy.
Lower than mine, Jerry, which is unbelievable.
Which was a tactical
Time.
maneuver. So the wind, it's just, we must point out, the wind is
Sorry.
absolutely gusting and
please.
swirling, and it will
Better
come
do it now, 'cause
into
you can't
play
leave
with the
until the
lobs
central.
for sure.
Your all-wheel drive Audi held
she's
its
going to
ground
the
when you were going
restroom
over the
if anybody
Tappan
wants
Zee.
to go.
It was
Jerry,
a
this
little,
morning, but I heard
must
it was
say,
pretty
it was a
wild.
little blowy.
Yeah.
I was a little alarmed today
ball,
when I was
Anna.
crossing the new Tappan Zee, actually Mario Cuomo Bridge, but we still call it Tappan Zee Bridge, is higher than the old one. So the
Sorry.
wind alert.
You put it in all-wheel drive, Jerry, to go over the bridge.
You can
So
give me the one
I
you don't
did
want.
get to watch that Rodezno Elliott match, and Elliott is a special kind of player. And at the beginning of the season, Cara Levenant, the director here and co-chair of this event, shared with me that she's going to be the player to watch. And he said, she's got extraordinary talent, Patty. She's got this mindset that he thinks could carry her through to a national title. And Lord knows, I didn't think they'd be a contender this year, but they certainly are. And she's got that variety in her overheads, beautiful swing. She's got that roller. She hits the roller inside out, kind of on a diagonal, Jerry, into the ad court player's body. It was a pretty effective shot yesterday, in the round of 16s match.
Well, just the difference in her body language and her court positioning and her whole attitude from Chicago, her first tournament, to Philly. Philly, she looked like she belonged. She expected to do well. I loved her fight. And this team, again, it's balancing it out with Marcela Rodezno. They're emerging as a force. They have a really bright future. And, you couldn't get two nicer people either. I might just say that Marcela is at the Patterson Club with Liz Cruz, and Liz Cruz and Marcela played Fed Cup for El Salvador together, and that's the first time I met them, maybe 5, 6 years ago. They started playing some tournaments together, and Liz Cruz, of course, pregnant, and with Gabby Nicolescu, her partner from defending champion last year, she just gave birth, so that's why both of them are out of this tournament.
Time's up.
And Jerry, with the early exit of
Hashtag
Roxy
time's up.
Anika yesterday with Kazakevich, they went out in the 32s. Some of the big names that we're used to hearing in the game are not in contention today, which paves the way for some of this new generation and these really good young teams. I look over the other court. Cooper and Hanish are a well-established team. Sakura and Morgan
set.
out there in a quarter.
Players ready?
First quarter ever together.
Play.
All right. Anna Maria Zubori is serving. She's a lot of overheads down the middle. They're going to test the nerves of Macy Elliott, I
15
think,
love.
early.
And the real question mark is the wind, Jerry, today. Can the players who really depend on it to open up the court to create their offense, how it impacts them?
And you see Anna
30
Maria
love.
Zubori is just effortless. She has got talent oozing out of every pore. Beautiful technique. She looks very loose and very relaxed.
And I would expect that
40
right out of
love.
the box here, Ondrejkova and Zubori are going to be on fire, and I'll be fascinated to see, how nerves come into this for Rodezno and Elliott, and if they come into it. But how do they not, Jerry? If you don't
Yeah.
have that feeling in your stomach, you and I are commentators, and we wake up during nationals, and we have that feeling in our stomachs.
Yeah, it's fun. Nice
40,
spot drive
15.
by Marcy Elliott there.
Vault.
The
40,
question
30.
mark, Jerry, this morning we spoke briefly of, with the win on tossing and see if it would impact these women's serves at all.
Deuce.
It will affect Elliott the least with the lowest toss in the game.
A beautiful serve down the tee after those 2 falls. Oh! And this is going to
Advantage,
be
Elliott,
a
Rodezno.
test to Ondrejkova Zubori mentally when the crowd is cheering loudly that early. Understandably,
Deuce.
the Macy's teacher's here, and she's had tremendous support from her membership.
Advantage, Elliott, Rodezno.
We could end up with dueling cheering sections.
We
Jerry,
could,
going
because
today.
Anna Maria Zubori is the teaching professional at Fox Meadow Club in Scarsdale, which is the birthplace of platform tennis. And we have some strong fans and live streaming watchers there at Fox Meadow. I'm hoping Bill Moss is listening. I know they set up the screen at the club and they've been following Anna Maria's season.
So we have to say a lot of really good things about Anna Maria Zubori. It won't be difficult.
And of course, Martina Ondrejkova, she is the Raxis professional at the Greenwich Country Club in Connecticut, so she will have a lot of hometown support here as well. And Martina Ondrejkova is very familiar and comfortable on this court as she won the national championships back in 2016 with Gabby Nicolescu. I'm not sure I've ever
Advantage,
heard
Ondrejkova,
cheering
Zubori.
this loud, Patty, this early in a match and the national championships in the women's round of quarterfinals. They're more excited than us.
Well, the game's come a long way, Jerry, and this is all about the women who have, propelled the level of play in the last 10 years in this game. It's just phenomenal.
Game, Ondrejkova, Zubori. They lead 1-0 first set.
So many of these women are talented, and here you are in this quarterfinal match, and you look around, and every single woman out here is a rock star in their own right.
Yeah.
They could pair up with any other women out here and be a phenomenal team.
Just want to take this moment to thank Viking Athletics. There is a premier brand and the undisputed leader in platform tennis. Viking is platform tennis. The Viking Extra Duty platform ball has been the #1 selling ball in the industry for the last 20 years. It is the official ball of the APTA, of the APTA Nationals and President's Cup, and of the Grand Prix Tour. And we have a full supply here. The umpire will be rotating the balls in every 7 games.
Fault.
And this is Marcella Rodezno serving.
Love 15.
Understandably, the serve for all these players, this first go around, is the shot where you're trying to settle your nerves. And I believe
Love
Anna
30.
Maria Zubori just pegged Macy Elliott.
I believe Zubori had a sense where Rodezno was serving that ball, because it wasn't a bad ball up the tee.
And just watch the teamwork of Elliott and Rodezno at net. They're going to have to volley very well. They're going to have to keep those spots close and force Zubori and Ondrejkova to lob to open up the court. That's a good close.
I wouldn't think Zubori's going to get too many easy forehands except the return of serve. I think that strategy would be dead set against that. You've got to get it over into Zubori's side screen into that ad court corner. And as you saw, she just clocked that forehand on that return of serve a few points ago, and so capable of taking advantage of that short ball.
Here's the shot. Macy Elliott likes to hit that big roller. Nice solid point early in the second game. So the question is when and where do you run when you see Zubori load up like that?
Well, the door's closed, so that's not an option to leave the court, which would be my first thought.
You're going to slide out through the snowboards?
Exactly.
I mean, seriously, you cannot lob short.
I had this conversation yesterday with the great team. They went out in the 16s.
Game Ondrejkova Zubori. They lead 2 games to love. First
Manley
set.
and Ruoff, and they went out and they really struggled to match up against the Sikora overhead. That same shot hit directly at Maria Manley, and we were talking about it at Starbucks actually this morning. And I said, you know, I remember Cynthia Dardis transitioning to where she would play too deep to staying on the baseline, and the moment the lob goes to, in that case it was Nicolescu, just taking off up that side
Love
screen.
15.
And I think Manley felt she was just maybe hesitating a second to take off. And she's really just got to go up and assume, you know, her partner's going to cover the entire court behind her. Jerry, are Zubori and Ondrejkova, because of that overhead that Zubori can hit, are they better at the net or are they better at the baseline? Hard question.
It is a hard. There's no court over there. We're going to have a look
30.
at that replay. Oh, no, that's not the replay. We're going to look at Zubori's forehand that we're talking about. Oh, right. Marcela Rodezno just hesitated there for a second, which I think the fear factor kicks in first. Am I going to get hit? And then she made the right move, though. She needs to roll with it.
Well, I think she glanced to her left, Jerry, where the move is.
15, 30.
She has to trust that the ball's going to come out up that side screen and just take a leap of faith and go. And then it will come into, you know, her sights over her back right corner.
Yeah, it's a nice return serve.
I think
right
when you
at
do
the hip.
The
15,
twirl,
40.
sorry, Jerry. The twirl doesn't help defend that shot.
Well, that's what that shot's so effective, because if it's coming slightly cross court, it's coming hard at you. It's coming at your left hip. You're the receiver of it. You've got to keep it on your left, which means you have
Elliott,
to roll.
Rodezno,
If you try to move to your right, number one, you're in the line of
Zubori lead
fire.
2
You could
games
get
to 1.
hit. Number
First
two,
set.
you're 3 feet away of having to chase a backside screen. So that's why it's so effective.
Jerry, right at the end of the point, I don't know if you noticed Zubori sort of made a weird hop, skip, step to leave the court. I don't know if she caught her foot or something, or her ankle.
I didn't notice. Pay attention now.
Well, I just happen to be staring at her every move because I'm fascinated with everything she does.
All right. Now let's look at Macy Elliott's ball toss here. That is the low and go serve.
It's fascinating to me is how close she gets into the net.
Love
And
15.
her right foot in the court is about half the distance between the baseline and the service line. Not quite, but not bad from there.
So they need to get on the scoreboard here with their serves. Oof.
15 all.
And the effectiveness of this ball toss being low, the ball doesn't bounce up as high. She's not allowing them to hit down on the ball. So you saw Zubori was forced to hit through the ball, and again with Ondrejkova, their point of contact is lower. So
30,
they're either going to have to bend their knees more. They're not going to get that higher bounce.
And it's the same thing, you know. Rodezno in her first serving game put that ball up
40,
the tee,
15.
and Zubori just clocked it. Here, she's 0 for 2 in the last return of serves.
3 return of serves missed.
Ondrejkova's a high ball hitter, Jerry, as well on the return of serve, like you're saying, and that's where this can negate some of that offense from the amazing baseline talent that Ondrejkova and Zubori bring to the table.
That was a good hold.
Game Elliott, Rodezno.
2
Games
all.
are 2 all. First set.
So I always say those first 4 games is just the filling out, get the nerves, get your feet under you, get your timing, get a feel for the ball. So now we'll get down to the business of tactics. Ondrejkova has a flat overhead.
She gets away with it most of the time because of her height, Jerry.
Love 15.
Nice pounce there by Rodezno.
Most of the time.
They've got that bounce hit. I mean, they're timing off of the deck.
15 all.
It catches their opponents in a shift, so Ondrejkova and Zubori are going to have to be careful not to swing their overheads from side to side.
30, 15.
That's a good spot too.
So there's that Rodezno forehand
40,
you were speaking
15.
of earlier, Jerry.
She's watching. You see, Ondrejkova had moved to the middle too much.
And I love this camera view, Jerry, because you can just see the teams who shift and the teams who don't.
Right.
And what openings present
Game
themselves.
Ondrejkova, Zubori. They lead 3 games to 2. Oh, it did. I'm sorry. Please let me know.
You see Zubori decided to stay back. Missed that overhead wide, but she waited, took away the target from Rodezno's return of serve.
Advantage Ondrejkova, Zubori.
This is the
Game Ondrejkova, Zubori. They lead 3 games to 2. First set.
that would be the Greenwich. Nice touch drop shot from Zubori. That would be the Greenwich Fox Meadow cheering section there on the left, Patty. I'm trying to identify where the clubs are.
In the future, because I couldn't see that ball hit her.
So, Jerry,
Make
I'm
sure
loving
I
the start
know it.
for all 4 players.
All I saw
feel like
was
they're
the
all
ball wide off the
comfortable.
net.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look to Anna Zubori in this match as be the person who can dictate the outcome. I feel like she is, we all know she's the human highlight reel, Jerry, but she's going to have to limit some of her unforced errors on her forehand, and when she has the opportunity on the short ball, she's got to spot a drive a little bit
15
better
love.
instead of just going pure pace, but I think that's early adrenaline.
And to your point before, Patty, like right there, Ondrejkova hit 3 beautiful drives, but the court positioning of Rodezno and Elliott shut down the openings, and Rodezno was able to
15
handle the
all.
pace and just volley it back straight and deep. That's going to be critical to their success here. They can manage the onslaught. Beautiful return by Ondrejkova.
15-30.
Because they can hit off of both wings, Ondrejkova, Zubori. Now they're playing Australian.
$15.40.
I think Rodezno's got to stay back.
Do you think Elliott's telling her that right now, Jerry?
Well, at least they're changing in the look, which is good. Australian and staying back. At least get your team into the point, because you can't. You don't want Ondrejkova, Zubori getting another easy return game off of Rodezno. I don't think Rodezno. I don't think they want a point on her first serve.
Game Ondrejkova, Zubori. Lately at 4-2, first set.
All right, we've got some scores from around the grounds. Dardis and Shea are up 1-love against Gio and Molenveld. And Prop and Spiz are up 2-1 against Delmonico and Gebbia.
Yeah, there's 4 incredible matches spread out over the beautiful Country Club of Darien here. We have our 2 courts from, thanks to Riley Green Mountain, platform tennis courts. And up top are their usual courts. And we referred to Carl Lebanon, our rock star, co-chair and director of everything rackets here.
It's just that's the talent of Zubori.
And her instincts.
15 love.
Is that what you get growing up playing tennis against the likes
Djokovic.
of Djokovic,
Yep.
Jerry? And no fear of any situation, embracing the more challenging shots. You know, she
15
loves
all.
the ball of life, but she just creates her own amazing shots.
Well, it's the number 1 seeds, Harnish and Cooper, have taken the first set 6-love over Sakura and Morgan.
First time in the quarters for Morgan and Sakura, and early nerves, understandable.
30-15.
But Hanish and Cooper, what a high level of play coming in as the number 1 seeds here in this event.
And another good story on the women's tour. You know, new team this year. Sakura and Morgan. Got some good results and a bright future for them too in the game.
I'll be fascinated to see if Rodezno and Elliott can take advantage of before when Zubori kind of goes back. One of the question marks a little bit is how they defend the lobs, sometimes coming out of the deuce court, Jerry. And if Zubori goes way over, I would really look for Macy Elliott to try to capitalize, because there's, for one moment,
40,
there's a
15.
lot of open court.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe cutting that ball off, not letting it go in, and just seeing if she can make may have to make a reaching volley on the next shot.
40-30.
So Ondrejkova 1 point away from a 5-2 lead in this first set.
Deuce.
All right, this is a biggest point in the match so far for Elliott and Rodezno. They can break back here, stop the momentum of Zubori Ondrejkova. That's a great return of serve by Macy Elliott. She
Advantage, Elliott
really
Rodezno.
pounced on that serve.
And followed it in, Jerry.
Yeah.
If Martina somehow came up with that shot, she was going to eat the next ball.
Now we've got the eye and a guest appearance by Zubori. Well, when she bends down like that, the play, they've determined which side she's going to go to. Just again, it's changing the look because the receiver has the advantage.
Jerry, for those of us who kneel down and can't get up, do you
Game, Elliott
recommend
Rodezno.
that stance? to start
Ondrejkova,
a point?
Zubori lead 4 games
For those
to
of us that
3.
can't get
First
up, I
set, new
recommend
ball.
stepping to the left when you're serving to the ad side and then be ready to go if you're going to cut all the way over. And we'd like to thank another one of our national sponsors. Uline is the leading distributor of shipping, industrial and packaging materials to businesses throughout North America. They ship over 2.5 million boxes every day, but they are so much more than a box company. More than 32,000 quality products are always in stock and ready to ship. Outstanding customer service means they are here when you need them, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Oh, I saw a little different serve there from Macy warm-up. The little sidearm spin. That's the push before.
Yeah. The girl's got variety, Jerry.
Well, look, I see Morgan Sikora are on the board. They took the first game of the second set after Harnish and Cooper won the first set 6-1.
That's going to be a steep climb out of that hole, Jerry. Down 7-1 essentially in that match.
Nice close there on
15 love.
Macy Elliott there and volleyed the ball back behind Ondrejkova. You can feel the
smooth.
momentum.
Yep. And Elliott just has such composure up there at the net as a volleyer.
Called. Side. 15 all.
And as you know, there's nothing like serving in the Nationals in a huge match, quarterfinals, and a lot of stuff that works during the year. It's really hard to execute right in this intense moment.
15-30.
Great little pop lob, just didn't give Elliott time to get her feet back in position. She just maybe had to let the ball drop a little bit and hit a controlled overhead.
It's Ondrejkova with a series of block lobs, and that last one pulled Macy Elliott out of the service box.
30 all.
30-0.
Wait.
Oh, there's the first trick shot from Zubori between the legs. Not
40,
successful
30.
though, but if you haven't seen her play before, this is a routine play. Behind the back, through the legs. She really enjoys the shot making of the game. Smart lob by Zubori there.
How tough a match is Ondrejkova playing right now, Jerry? She's spot on.
There you can see Zubori's moving, looking for the middle shot.
I jinxed her.
Game, Elliott Rodezno. Games are 4 all. First set.
Jerry, the difference yesterday when Rodezno's and Elliott's win was the fact that Elliott hit so many of the overheads and controlled the play into that deuce court. I think the more hits she gets on her overheads, the better off her team will be today.
Now, did they switch at net? Did they put Elliott on the left?
15 love.
They did. She ended up being there about 3/4 of the time, and I thought they were so much more effective that way. You know, club levels at play or at home sort of just leave it up in the air
30
and
love.
hit whatever overheads, where these top teams, they know percentage-wise and what the matchup is with the opponents, where, you know, who's better off hitting an overhead and who's better off maybe closing off the net for the volleys.
I think this was Zubori hit an ace on her serve, which is rare.
Biggest ace I've ever seen in the game, Jerry, the other night, men's Speak Up, when Prasenko and Le Prévert, Max hit an ace down 6-3 in the tiebreaker.
Wow. Well played by Zubori. Caused a confusion, so Elliott, Rodezno have
40
got to
love.
figure out who's going to get that and who's going to stay back. They're both fast enough to run anything down, but you can't put your team so exposed like that. Good head fake from Zubori. And that's that, the combination. Her preparation looks the same, and she can hold the ball. So anticipating what shot she's going to hit is difficult. And again, you can hear the wind gusting, so getting those lobs up higher and deeper, you got to give me that shot. A volley between. Patty, you have that shot. No way. This is a quarterfinals of a national championship at 4-all.
Can you think about how her brain works, Jerry? Let's see. I can hit a routine backhand volley. I can hit a slacker forehand volley, or I can go between the legs. Go between the legs. Why not?
Well, look, she loves to have fun. If you can pull it off, why not?
Hey, you come out of a Serbia, Yugoslavia war zone as a kid. You've seen it all. You've seen the horrors. She had the joys, and her escape was on the court, and that's what comes through and makes her so special out here.
Marcela Rodezno is doing a wonderful job handling all those different spins, different screens. And her patience was rewarded.
A little disappointing for Zubori right there.
40,
The middle
15.
was wide open. Just overjuiced it, Jerry. She probably was debating, do I hit this forehand between my legs, behind my back, or a routine forehand?
That's a big hold.
Game, Ondrejkova, Zubori. They lead 5-4, first set.
We're going to have a replay. This is part of our highlight reel. That's a nice cut. That's excellent by Macy Elliott there. And here we see the confusion. So Macy's got to let Rodezno run that one down. Oh, this is the one between the legs, I believe. So keep your eye on this. Keep your eye on Zubori. Oh, yeah. That's a great series of replays. Thanks, Kelly Diesel, our producer.
Tomanko Gebbia, prop spritz up, 5-2
15
in the
love.
first set. 1-all in the match between Hanisch and Cooper and Sikora and Morgan.
So that Macy Elliott little side back drop shot shows me that she has some finesse, some touch. I know she's got power. I know
30
she's
love.
got speed, but that's a delicate little cut that she just hit on the instant replay that we just saw.
Phenomenal start here in this quarterfinals for Elliott and Rodezno, Jerry. On serve, technically.
Yes. Rodezno's up 30-love on her third service game. Now let's look at the net positioning of Elliott Rodezno. That ball they're clearly playing on Ondrejkova. Oh, risky. Little scary backside.
40-love.
And every time they hit that ball into Ondrejkova, Macy Elliott was straddling that center line with her backhand volley, ready to handle the drives.
And that was scary because that went right into the wheelhouse for Zubori. It was just hit way too hard.
40-15.
But that's the fine line. You're trying to pound the overhead, get the person deep, and there's a fine line between that corner, side, back, side.
And even on the serve, I think trying to keep that ball
Game,
low.
Elliott,
I mean,
Rodezno
Rodezno knows if she
5-all
hits her
first set.
serve with a lot of pace and it sits up high, she just gives them more opportunities to attack. So you saw her there decelerate on that serve.
Love 15.
Shout out to Cindy Prendergast. For some reason, Elliott's serve does remind her of my serve. I don't know which is hit slower.
That's a compliment, I'm sure, Cindy. Ooh, good move by Elliott there.
15-all.
She sometimes drops her paddle head on her volleys, also on her forehand. Needs to keep that paddle head higher than her wrist. See, Marcela Rodezno, she's just so smooth. Off the deck, in the screens. She has like an effortless power. Opened up the court with that beautiful lob.
Wow.
It's fun when all four players are bringing their A
15,
game
30.
at the same time.
30-15,
5-all
sorry.
in the first set, and they all look very comfortable. 30-15. So you can see the wind just even blowing Ondrejkova's pants. It's her lucky
What?
white pants, Patty. You normally
Her
comment on
signature.
her
30-all.
attire.
I
Oh, my-
always do. I mean, I think she wins 97% of the time she wears white pants, Jerry. Now, what a treat here to start the day off of an amazing long day of live streaming here. Thanks to Enid and all your efforts all year long, Jerry. And, you know, if you can still get
40,
out here,
30.
we'll be going late into tonight. What's the over-under? 10 o'clock finish tonight,
Yeah.
Jerry? And such a treat, you know, I saw a lot of the fans worried about the parking, but we've got a shuttle service. People can come right up to the club and 5-minute shuttle. So come on out and watch if you're anywhere near Darien, Connecticut.
Yeah, CCD has done a wonderful job. They have a hospitality tent. There's plenty of food. There's plenty of beverages. And you see a beautiful return of serve by
Deuce.
Marcela Rodezno. Straight through the middle. Deuce. 5-all. Doesn't get any closer than this.
I am nervous now in
No,
my seat.
no, I need you to breathe. You can't be nervous. I need you focused,
Totally, Jerry.
ready to go.
I love a little nerves. A few nerves are good. Wow, some people are probably shocked that we're dead even here in the first set of this quarterfinal match. But you've had the opportunity to see the growth of Rodezno and Elliott this season, and you know they're the real deal here.
Just see that nice deep lobs by Ondrejkova. And the same rhythm off the deck. She can hit a backhand drive, a forehand drive. Where is the safe spot?
In here, Jerry.
Just see the shadow. That's a perfect shot. Oh, we lost it. The shadow on the court of the lights shows us a good marker for the depths of the overhead there. As long as Elliott and Rodezno can keep their overheads behind that
Elliott,
line. See,
Rodezno.
it's almost halfway between the service line and the baseline. If they put it in front of that line, it is going to be trouble off the deck.
Game,
What a turn
Elliott,
of events here,
Rodezno.
Jerry.
They lead 6-5, first set.
So Rodezno smoked that return of serve 2 serves ago, and right there, Zubori, out of total respect, stayed back, and Martina chunked it, unfortunately. BTIG is a global financial services firm specializing in institutional trading, investment banking, research, and related brokerage services. With an extensive global footprint and more than 600 employees, BTIG operates out of 18 cities throughout the U.S., Europe, Asia, and Australia. BTIG offers execution, expertise, and insights for equities, equity derivatives, ETFs, fixed income, currency, and commodities. The firm's core capabilities, there's a lot of 3-syllable words
Above
here, Jerry.
15.
The firm's core capabilities include global execution, portfolio, electronic and outsourced trading, transition management, and so much more that we'll tell you about soon.
Above 30.
Wow.
Ondrejkova handled those 2 rollers, heavy rollers from Macy Elliott.
I was going to say, you can't appreciate the force
Right.
coming at you on that shot, and to defend it was just effortless for Ondrejkova right there. Wow, she found the seam in between. That was one of the few times here Elliott didn't close
About
in
40.
and handle that as a routine backhand volley in the middle. Huge moment here. I don't know, Jerry. I'm heading to the top of the Macy Elliott fan club. She has such talent, and I love watching her play here.
Game, Ondrejkova, Zubori.
That was a
Games are 6-all.
That was a wild
Tiebreak.
forehand there.
tough game to let go without getting a point, and Zubori and Ondrejkova just put their foot down. So we're into the tie break, which I feel this first set deserves. Again, that return of serve. That
1-0,
Rodezno's
Elliott,
taking that
Rodezno.
serve at shoulder high and ripping the ball down at the feet of Zubori. You just got to take that play away. And you see Rodezno and Macy going into the Australian. And Elliott completely
2-0,
straddling
Elliott,
that
Rodezno.
center line, forcing Ondrejkova. The only opening on the court there is the low percentage.
Morgan Sikora, we just got an update, up 3-2 in the second set with their match with Cooper and Hanisch.
Good, so they've settled into the second set.
Sikora's a longtime partner of Kui Lion and teamed up with Morgan this year, and they've had a great season so far. Wow.
Oh, it's a 3-love lead
3-0,
to Elliott Rodezno. And the
Rodezno.
tie break, it is the first team to 7 by 2. Ondrejkova serving. And
3-1,
good energy
Elliott
from
Rodezno.
Zubori. She came back, little fist pump. She knows how important this next point is. hands, half volley. So tempting, but you've got to stay home.
3-2, Elliott Rodezno.
A guest appearance volley reaching. Rodezno was there.
So you're just not a fan of surprise guests at your home, Jay? You are at your home, just not on the paddle court. The pool's open. Anyone's welcome. But don't take my volley.
You know, it's different if it's a floater, a little bit higher, but when you're stabbing like that, look, we've seen this play. We've got Elliott Rodezno working over Ondrejkova on the deuce side and playing that 2/3 of the court. There's no openings there. They've got it covered. And then you watch Zubori on the right-hand side. She's moving. She wants the ball. But she took that and rolled that ball down the line. She's constantly changing the look of the court in the back. So again, I asked you, where is the safe spot? Because you've got to keep an eye on her.
Rodezno did a great job reading that shot, going right up that side screen, and just throwing up a lob.
And you can see Rodezno is looking into the sun when she takes that ball off the side back screen. Nice. Yeah, and that's a better cover. Rodezno stayed back. And Zubori right now has them on a string. And what allows Zubori to flow is Ondrejkova. Ondrejkova understands where to be on the court, understands her role,
4-2, Elliott
knows her
Rodezno.
shots, and when you have that kind of north on the compass, the free spirit can really flow because there isn't the hesitation, there isn't the guesswork of if I do this, am I going to get covered or...
Big time lob. Scrappy play off that low screen right there from Elliott. Gigantic point here.
I'm surprised they didn't switch.
4-3, Elliott Rodezno.
Rodezno stayed in the deuce side.
For all.
What a little half. Talk about hands right there, Jerry.
But the ball was good.
And there was a question on the serve. I thought there was a little bit of hesitation.
Zubori.
So Ondrejkova Zubori up 5-4. Rodezno serving. What are they going to do, Patty? Australian?
I think so. They've got to mix it up, show something, take away the cross court of Ondrejkova's forehand here.
Oh, that's that same move. She's got to either go forward and take it higher
Ondrejkova Zubori.
or let it go through to Rodezno. It's kind of her tennis instinct, right? That she just wants to take that ball and go across court, and there's no court there.
Couple of set points here for Ondrejkova Zubori. Quarterfinals, 2020 Nationals.
I tell you, Elliott Rodezno were lucky to get out of that point. They came out
Ondrejkova
with some
Zubori.
tough volleys.
Jerry, are seats attached in here?
It's very, very gusty. Players are doing a good job of controlling where they hit. Wow. 6-all. The crowd is
6-all.
going crazy. Wow. It was quite the battle.
Kind of a shocking error right there. Just kind of a flat-footed miss. The wind definitely impacted Ondrejkova's overhead there. Wow.
Nice rip. Zubori found Macy Elliott's right hip.
7-6, Ondrejkova, Zubori.
And a little bit of play with the paddle head, Jerry, that you were talking about. You've got to keep your hands still, and if you move your paddle to the right hip, rock solid, firm up your grip, and just hold it still.
Yeah.
We can show that. We can demonstrate, Jerry. Ready? What do you do? Keep that paddle head up.
Move the package.
Do you have a paddle here, Jerry? We can demonstrate. Wow, so 7-6 tiebreaker on Ondrejkova Zubori. First set, quarterfinals of nationals.
Seven all.
And again, Ondrejkova's known for, she's got that touch on her lobs, but just a little long here.
Beautiful return of serve. Zubori just stepped up, thread the needle.
8-7, Ondrejkova, Zubori.
And again, I think they're better off staying back.
I think that was a sort of a lapse in a tactic right there, Jerry. Incredible lob there, right on the line.
Yeah. Oh.
8 all.
8-all.
Wow, a little bit of regifting going on here, Jerry. for
Yeah.
both
All
teams.
4 players are fighting hard, though.
And none of them are afraid to pull out a drop shot in a tiebreaker.
You can see the wind gusts on the tent. That's us. Keep an eye on it, Patty, if we go if we go levering up. But it's tricky conditions that these players are dealing with. That looked long. Yep. Here's a set point opportunity.
9-8,
Wow.
Elliott
Elliott
Rodezno.
Rodezno.
A shocker brewing here, possibly, in Darien, Connecticut.
All right,
Fist.
Patty. Rodezno. They're going with the Australian.
I like
Watch
it.
Macy Elliott. After the serve cross, she crosses and stays down. And I just
Big time play from the woman in white.
9
just
all.
went after it.
We're used to seeing Floor Hanisch do it in crucial situations, and right there, Martina just took the play, put it on her own paddle, and created for herself and executed. Might have been the biggest shot of the tournament so far. Wow, Rodezno and Elliott have just answered everyone's questions here, Jerry. Remarkable first set performance. For a newbie team, it's remarkable.
It really is.
Was that in or out?
10-9, Ondrejkova, Zubori.
Yeah, I think it caught the neck. All right, again, serving for the first set. We're past the hour mark for this first set. Nice little off-speed roller by Zubori. As the first set, 7-6. To give you some update.
Tie break and first set, Ondrejkova Zubori, 7-6.
Rodezno Shea took the first set over Guillaume Molivel 6-4. Proppen Spears took the first set over Delmonico Gebbia 6-2, and it's 3-all in the second set. Cooper and Harnish are Morgan Sikora are up 3-2 in the second set. Cooper and Harnish took the first set 6-love. So we've got some battles going on, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these messages right here on the APTA network presented by eNet Live.
You can't put wings on a car. You can't see an accident coming or walk away from one like this. You can't make a car talk.
How can I help you?
You can't fight gravity. And you can't make one of the world's best SUVs even better. Go on, tell us what else we can't do. The all-new GLS.
Are you ready to go?
Possibly the safest, most spacious, most Mercedes SUV ever made. Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
Anna started over here.
Welcome
So
back.
we're over here.
We just hear Mark Bliss. They're trying to figure out where and who is going to serve this second set. After that, I think it was an hour and 10 minutes, Kelly, the first set. So,
Jerry, what a treat. And I mean, it's so exciting. Great for Elliott and Rodezno in their first appearance in a quarters of nationals to put up that first set fight against, you know, the amazing team of Ondrejkova and Zubori. And I mean, this match, very little separates them. I feel like Zubori made a few unforced errors, Jerry, that I think, but that sort of goes with her flair. She's,
yeah.
you know, it's a high risk, high reward style of play that she goes with. And Elliott and Rodezno, I mean, they didn't do much wrong there. They played a really solid set. They showed us a lot. And they're here to stay. And I expect a grueling battle here to keep going.
I think if they figure out staying back on the serve and Elliott stops making the guest appearances on those couple of volleys, because their net positioning is very good. I mean, that set could have gone either way.
Right, and Jerry, I said one point late in that tiebreaker, I said I thought that was a tactical miss by Rodezno and Elliott, where they served straight up, and Rodezno really wasn't even looking to cover a shot, and Zubori just hit a rocket through, and that was the key point in the tiebreaker.
As you may see, Elliott is serving first
30 love.
this set, and I think that's a good move too, because clearly we saw in those couple of service games, Ondrejkova Zubori missed 3 returns in a row, so it was a quick, easy hold for her. And her serve, because of her ball toss, her serve stays low, and it cuts the effectiveness of Ondrejkova Zubori being able to really pounce on the return of serve. And she gets to net.
See, I just want Elliott hitting more overheads.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw yesterday, Jerry.
Yeah, she's got the variety in the spins. Rodezno places it well, but her overhead is flatter.
That's why I think they could switch, get, Elliott to the left of the two players a little bit more. And I'd like to see their chances playing it that way.
And you see,
Especially because they're playing so many balls that go into Martina, and she's got the ability to hit those beautiful lobs from that deuce court, and Elliott's got the height to defend it. And the racket skills.
nice lob by Ondrejkova. She was able to find Rodezno's backhand overhead, which is no small feat in this wind. I mean, the wind has picked up, it's gusting and swirling. I see. I see a whole nother level of energy
Game,
right now
Elliott,
in
Rodezno.
Macy Elliott. I would not
They lead one
give
game
her
to
another
love.
ball if I was playing against her right now. You can see
Second
her
set.
physicality.
New ball.
Her legs, she's moving, she looks more powerful, she looks like she's a little bit ticked off, which is not a good thing when you're playing against somebody that's got that much skill set. And she's channeling
New
it.
ball,
You know,
please.
sometimes you can be deflated after losing such a tight battle in the
No, I
first
don't
set.
either.
And I don't see that at all. I see a very, very energized and determined player down there.
Yeah, she's got a resolve here, and that first set, loss in the tiebreaker, did nothing. It kind of empowered her and energized her, gave her the belief. You often talk about the belief, Jerry, in players, and in order to cross the line, they've got to
15 love.
believe they can. I'll have a story about that to tell you later.
You will? I can't wait. I think I remember that story.
Yeah.
Could have been the
Yeah, a friend of
Pittsburgh.
mine told me it a couple years ago.
Must have had some impact.
Monthly.
Routine half volley pickup and a nice move by Zubori.
15-all.
She saw that ball dipping down and she took off.
Total appreciation that Rodezno's, made a stab volley there for a winner.
Fault.
Morgan Sikora up 4-3 in the second
15-30.
set against the number one seeds Cooper and Harnish. And Cooper and Harnish took the first set 6-love. Propenspiz are 3-all in the second set against Delmonico Gebbia. Propenspiz took the first set 6-2. Nice get, and that's a
15,
very
40.
lively forehand volley. She found her right hip, popped that ball long. Okay, 15-40. It's an opportunity to get a good lead, 2-love lead here. They hold on.
$30-40.
Jerry, the winner of this match, will play the winner of the Guillaume Molenveld match with Dardis and Shea.
Deuce.
Good serve by Zubori, and there's 2 missed returns. They're the kind of things, this is a huge, turning. Gotta get your return of serve in play.
To win the quarterfinals of nationals, what % of your return of serves do you have to make, Jerry?
You gotta pay 100%.
You don't
just
even get to
got
miss
it.
one?
You got
Advantage,
get,
Elliott,
no,
Rodezno.
you've just got to be dialed into, and then definitely if your partner misses the return of serve, you got to get that ball in play.
Deuce.
And again, it's that in, out, the flow of not one team has really dominated for any stretch. I mean, they're all playing well, and it's just there's not much between them.
Just that one in-between shot really separates these four women. Shout out to my old buddy Dave Roscoe from Beacon Hill,
Advantage.
who I played my
Ondrejkova,
first tournament
Zubori.
with Jerry a million years ago, and he told me one thing, that I only could miss one overhead a day
A day.
in a tournament. One overhead a day. What did you learn, Jerry? 0?
Game Ondrejkova, Zubori. Games are 1-all.
All right, that was a
Second
good
set.
hold. So in that game, we saw that was really the first time I saw Macy Elliott unload on her two-handed backhand. It was shorter in the court, a beautiful shot, and then she went for the same shot, but it was too deep in the court. She had to change her timing.
Shout out from Florida,
Club
from
15.
buddy of mine from Lake George, Nick Lemma. Glad he's tuned in. We got to get him off the pickle court, Jerry,
15
and
all.
onto the paddle court.
Prop and
30,
Spiz
15.
are in a battle in the second set with Monaco Gebbia. It's 4-all. Oh, no, it's not. It's 5-all. Dardis and Shea are up 2-love in the second set against Guillaume Molinville, having taken the first set 6-4.
30-all.
Jerry, I know you have a love of spreadsheets. I didn't realize that you were really good at dots and connecting the dots. I've seen another exceptional skill of yours on display here this weekend already.
You're not making fun of me, are you?
Not at all. I love precision.
40, 30.
You know, I like the details. I like the process.
It's kind of an interesting path to go to the volley, kind of go up and then veer off to your left and give yourself a more awkward volley. I mean, that's just when you see players a little in between a forehand and a backhand volley. It kills you when you have that indecision on a great return from that ad court. I think you get away with moving your paddle back and forth a lot of days of the week, but not at nationals in the quarterfinals.
Advantage. Ondrejkova, Zubori.
Oh, the
This
serve
side.
was wide. A little bit of a shaky game
Game
there.
Ondrejkova, Zubori. They lead 2-1. Second set.
Jerry, there's another opportunity for some dots.
You know, I missed my 5-0 dot. Now, so what Patty's referring to, can we get a shot of us so I can see? I have a spreadsheet here. This is our new system because the courts are so far away from us. And this is all the other women's matches that are going on, and we've got a play-by-play.
Well, there
of
we
the
go,
score,
Jerry.
and this is what Patty's giving me a hard time about. I'm putting a dot so we know what scores we've called.
I thought you were psychic. You didn't need any dots, Jerry. 128 women's teams. I think 128 volunteers are out here on an hourly basis, Jerry, doing everything it takes to make the Darien 2020 the most, remarkable nationals thus far for our sport.
Yeah, so I had the
Club
honor of
15.
working with a lot of these people on the Nationals Committee, and they're so organized.
We have a very secretive guest in our booth who has revealed herself as Letty Helgens, and she's our Cracker
15-all.
Match scorekeeper getting texts from all the other places where the matches are being played and kind of reporting it to us. Jerry, we have never been kept up to date throughout a nationals like this with scorekeeping. It's so fun to know what's going on all the other matches.
As it's happening too.
30-15.
Again, a little bit of momentum going in the favor of the number 2 seeds, Ondrejkova Zubori.
Jerry,
All right,
we
take,
spoke of-
sorry.
Oh, sorry, no.
No, take a look at that shadow down there along the light on the far end. That's a good benchmark to see where Ondrejkova and Zubori are hitting their overhead. So anything in front of that line is going to be an opportunity for Elliott Rodezno to pounce on.
And
40,
past that
15.
line, on the really thick line, is what I call the Sue Tarzian overhead. She hit that spot 7,000 times in the finals of the Nationals in Pittsburgh with Carrie Flynn before going out 10-8 in an amazing third set. And I remember that as the day you saved my life, Jerry, off that high platform.
Oh.
My chair was teetering. I didn't even know that one little part of the chair was already off.
And you were leaning back in excitement. I think I grabbed you by your collar or something. It's short of the service line. Macy Elliott is going to look for that backhand.
I just love how Zubori waited so long, just held that shot.
Zubori. Yeah.
Zubori, yeah.
Game
Yep.
Ondrejkova Zubori. They lead 3-1.
And she sets her paddle so
Second set.
early. And then she has such great hands and touch. And court awareness. I think I've seen an improvement in her shot selection during this match alone. Sometimes she can be a little bit wild. Too many choices.
How good are Ondrejkova and Zubori as front runners, Jerry?
Yeah, they're good.
That would be a concern here. Elliott and Rodezno can't get in too deep a hole here against them. With their
15
firepower,
love.
and, their wisdom as a partnership, it would be tough for Elliott and Rodezno to come back.
And Ondrejkova is just such a calm, cool player. She's been here before. She's won a national championship. She's also played on the WTA Tour, so she's got a lot of experience competing.
30 love.
So, Jerry, right there, that was the Elliott overhead. That was the difference yesterday. The inside out, sort of over into that ad court. The ball stays so low. And she even made Anna the Magician miss.
40 love.
I mean, her serve is just so effective. Again, Ondrejkova, the ball is low. It's not rising above the level of the net. And
Game,
these
Elliott,
guys have got to
Rodezno.
make an adjustment on that. It's holding her serve to love.
Ondrejkova Zubori lead 3-2. Second set.
Jerry, when you talk
Ondrejkova
about
Zubori won the
making an
first set
adjustment,
7-6.
can you give us one adjustment they might make?
I think they could stand in closer and bend lower, bend their knees lower, and try to get that ball, get their paddle at the level of the ball, and then swing up. So right now, everything's way below the level of the net.
Yeah, I always like to move in, Jerry, and you and I favored a chip sometimes on some key moments to get that ball down quickly at our opponent's feet. And that might be a way to answer it.
Lucky record there. Oh, Cooper and Harnish
love.
are up 6-5 in the second set against Morgan and Sakura. And they won the first set 6-love.
Allison Morgan serving to try to stay in that set. I'm concentrating, Jerry. I just happened to glance over and see Allison.
Great foot speed by Macy there.
What an adjustment. I thought she went the wrong way, but she just made one step to get out of the way and caught up with it. Nice reach.
There's that
Wow.
two-handed backhand. You put that ball down on the service line.
15 all.
So maybe I'd get Marcela Rodezno to lob down the line more and Macy step to her right and set that shot up more. Because we've only seen her hit it 3 times.
Jerry, that's a great point because Ondrejkova and Zubori are sort of handling the Elliott forehand in a way. And there we saw that backhand, which clearly she can take inside out
15-30.
or up the line, middle. And maybe
Change the look.
that puts them a little bit, you know, in a guessing situation.
Right. Now there you go. You see Elliott looking for her backhand, moving to the right. Doesn't have to be that big. Just pick your spot.
30 all.
Not sure what happened there. It looked like Zubori might have
30,
thought the
40.
serve was long. She kind of hesitated. Shakes
you
it
just-
off.
You've got to just assume the ball's good unless you hear the umpire call the ball out.
That was a,
Game
that was
Elliott
a
Rodezno.
substantial break there.
Games are 3 all, second set.
She kind of felt Zubori and Ondrejkova were really getting a little momentum. And now we're back. 3 all.
Rodezno needs to hold big time.
Yeah. No,
Love 15.
that's her tennis. That's just an instinct that she's gonna have to work on. That volley's got to go back straight and deep.
15
You don't
all.
wanna change direction of the play on a ball that's being hit that hard at you. It's too hard, especially a forehand volley.
And straight and short is better than cross
Yes.
court wild.
Yes, because even if it was in, you put your team in a shift, and now you're chasing.
Wow. Again, no adjustment to that
15,
Ondrejkova
30.
return to serve right there. Little surprising tactic. Whoa, did the wind just blow your headset off, Jerry?
Like the gust. That was the routine
Behind the back.
and half volley lob from the service line. What a combination.
30 all.
And that was created again by Rodezno kind of coming in toward that ad court, Jerry, and she flipped her paddle over and put the ball over there on the Zubori, you know, side of the court. I think she would be better served to get that volley up the middle away from Zubori on that first shot. I just think Zubori loves being
30,
engaged in
40.
the action, and at every opportunity I would get that ball up the middle and force a little bit more of the Ondrejkova backhand over anything Zubori right now.
Yeah, Rodezno taking a moment because it's really the wind gusts are fierce.
Deuce.
Jerry, have you ever gotten windburn announcing?
No, I have not. Look, I just love the court positioning at net. Ondrejkova just
Advantage. Ondrejkova
went for the
Zubori.
wide shot and got a reaching error. Zubori's has increased her
Deuce.
backswing. Maybe the wind
The
is
wind is
catching her
taking it.
paddle. I mean,
It's-
she really, on those last 2 return of serve, she take a much bigger backswing.
Advantage,
I'd love
Elliott,
to
Rodezno.
see a little adjustment here. Even though Zubori hit a flyer the last return, you do not want her to find her range. Very mature return to serve from Zubori right there.
That's a really nice lob that Zubori just hit. Pulled Rodezno all the way over.
I just don't see the overhead variety from Rodezno that I potentially see coming off of Elliott's paddle here, and I'd love to get them to switch spots.
Absolutely.
Probably not appropriate to go out and suggest it, Jerry, on a changeover.
I think it might be a little tough now. That's something they might need to practice a little
Right.
bit.
Hard to pull it out, and that's why great players like yourself practice every possible scenario so you can go to it on demand with confidence.
What's important, you know, that you know where to go when you're making a change like that. Oh, nice rip off the deck by Ondrejkova. The lob was just long, and that was a
Game,
huge
Elliott,
hold
Rodezno.
for
They lead
Rodezno.
4-3. Second set.
She's not had that much success holding serve today in
Right.
this match, so that was gigantic, and you heard the cheers from her cheering section here. We're at the Country Club of Darien. This is 2020 APTA National Championships.
The biggest draw in the history of the national championships. Women's draw, 128 teams.
I believe we have a semifinalist, Cooper and Hanisch, Jerry.
Number 1 seeds are through. They've defeated Morgan and Sakura, 6-love, 7-5.
Yeah, he's got it. 15 love.
Talk about no return to serve errors this game. Huge for Elliott and Rodezno. You
Nice
just gotta
drop.
love her nerves of steel. Just a drop shot that ball, but it was so smart.
30
Off
love.
speed return to serve. And if you're gonna hit off speed, you gotta get that ball away from that net player.
40 love.
That's a
Game,
big fist pump by
Ondrejkova.
Ondrejkova there. That was a good
Zubori.
hold, 4-0. Oprop and
Games are
Spitzer in the
4-all.
tie break in the second set,
New
having
ball.
won the first set 6-2 against Delmonico and Gebbia. And Dardis and Shea are through to the semifinals with a 6-4, 6-1 win over Gio and Molenveld. And we'll have the women's semifinals later today. After this match, we'll be going to the men's 16, I believe, Patty. You're calling one of
Oh,
those matches. You're going to be
just-
chatting.
An action-packed day, and I don't mind the chatter at Nationals, Jerry. A lot of chatter last night, Jerry. Went to the party and got to enjoy the hospitality of the Country Club of Darien, all the volunteers, wait
15
staff,
love.
everyone went above and beyond to make it a special night for all the players. And our finalists in the Junior Nationals, boys and girls 18s, were mentioned, which was great. Great for them that they got to participate in this national championship.
And we also might offer our congratulations to Martina Ondrejkova, who was the recipient of the Charlotte Lee Sportsmanship
30
Award,
love.
which is a high honor voted on by her peers. And you see, again, the energy jump in Macy Elliott right here. Oh, that's the, what, the 5th shot?
Yeah.
Zubori? That's the way to stay quiet and still.
Wow.
And give it right back. That's what she needs to do. Just stay low, set your
40
backhand
love.
volley, only take what's in your space and don't reach for anything out wide on a big rip. She just was able to handle the heat of that drive, and she's got a commanding lead in this game. 40-love. Those overheads are a little short, landing in the strike zone of Ondrejkova.
See that spin overhead
Yeah.
that Elliott just hit, Jerry?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Game,
about.
Elliott, Rodezno.
She can go back
They
3
lead
quarters
5
depth
games to
because
4,
of her
second
height.
set.
And thanks to her racket skills, she's got these marvelous spins that, you know, emerge. And that's what I saw yesterday. And I'm just convinced that's what they need more of.
And she's losing very few points on her serve. I think the last 2 service games that she served, she's maybe only lost 1 or 2 points.
We've got an exciting second set tiebreaker in the Delmonico Gebbia prop Swiss match. And our Cracker top reporters said 3-all third tiebreaker second set. Crackerjack was the word I was looking for. Gosh, that was a little scary volley over there. Hit the line.
That's Rodezno's got to get those lobs up higher and deeper, which is not so easy today in these wind conditions. Again, it's a little too deep in the court, and she changes the
15 love.
rhythm, the timing off of her own shot, Macy Elliott, when she hits that backhand so quickly. She needs to wait for a shorter ball. But you can see she is fired up.
Wow.
That's it. Stay low, stay quiet, and it's almost just it's what else you got? What else you got when she plays that way,
15-all.
rather than trying to change the direction of the play. She stayed low, quiet backhand.
And
She's
it
not
almost-
loving this return.
Yeah, it almost looked like Ondrejkova could take a step in and take that volley out of the air.
Yeah, she had that nice little arc on the volley.
30-15.
So important when you're playing these type of matches that you are aware of which opponent has the hot hand at what moment. And right now, I would take Macy Elliott out of the play.
That's out. That's out.
I totally agree.
30-all.
You can just feel that she's just getting more and more pumped. And not that Marcela Rodezno is playing poorly. It's just Macy Elliott's got that look in her eye and that spark. And I would not have been surprised if she had dove for that ball
I
right
know,
now. I
I
mean, she
was-
wants it.
40,
I mean, she's
30.
got sneaky speed, Jerry. It didn't look like she was making a move, and all of a sudden, she's touching the ball.
Oh!
Phenomenal return to serve right there.
Deuce.
But again, Zubori had the debate: backhand volley, forehand volley, or tweener. Instead of getting a little closer to the net for that volley.
And she was enjoying her serve. Beautiful service motion.
Jerry, we have another winner out here. Prostrays took out the team of Delmonico Gebbia.
Advantage, Elliott,
6-2,
Rodezno.
7-6, 7-4 in that second set tiebreaker.
Now you just saw a beautiful spot drive by Rodezno. Zubori didn't shift to her right. Rodezno found it and got a reaching error. That's a nice off-speed overhead by Ondrejkova. Bailing, smart shot.
Whoops, the visor going off. Play continues.
And again, so that was a set. All that whole play was set up by Zubori's lob over Elliott's left shoulder, and that pulled Rodezno all the way behind her. Rodezno needed more time, so she needed to hit that overhead slower and deeper to reset. And so the speed of her shot allowed Zubori to capitalize.
Kind of get a sense Elliott wants the ball, Jerry, to your point. She welcomes this moment.
That's that same placement of the lob by Zubori, and Rodezno did a much better job of handling the speed and the depth.
Advantage, Elliott Rodezno.
That's a great point, Jerry. People don't realize that. If they hit the ball hard, the ball's coming back sooner than if they were to hit that ball slowly with less pace.
You don't want to hit it faster than you can shift. And it's a tactical move by Zubori. She's placing that ball. It's a beautiful place, lob. And again, you feel the momentum
second set, Elliott
and
Rodezno.
the energy from the crowd.
6 games to 4.
Incredible quarterfinal matchup here. And we get a third set, which seems only appropriate,
2 minutes.
Jerry.
Right, they'll get a 2-minute break. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be
If
right
you can
back
hear me inside,
for
would
the
you get
action
a
of the
sleeve
third
balls
set
for me, please?
of the women's quarterfinals here at the Nationals.
When people think of Roto-Rooter, they typically just think plumbing and water cleanup. And they wouldn't be wrong, but we do a whole lot more. Roto-Rooter. Yeah, we do that too.
And welcome back to the APTA National Championships. We're about to start the third set, the women's quarterfinal, between the number 6 seeds, Elliott Rodezno, playing the number 2 seeds, Ondrejkova Zubori, and Patty. Quite a barn burner we have here.
You know, we expected it. We were hopeful that it would be a really competitive match. We were hopeful for Elliott and Rodezno because as the number 6 seeds, they lack the championship experience on the big-time stage that Ondrejkova and Zubori have. So, you know, it's always curious as to which team shows up here, and both teams have showed up. Kind of a marvelous display of so many racket skills, opening up the court. Really fun. I look
Great
forward to
athleticism. Right by all 4 players.
Wow. This third set is going to be something, Jerry.
Players ready?
Do you have a comfortable seat?
Third set,
I'm good.
play.
And Macy Elliott is serving first again. So she didn't serve first in the first set, but the team has had a lot of success because her style of serve keeps the ball low, and it's really cut down on Ondrejkova Zubori being able to tee off. In fact, I think her last 2 service games, maybe she's only lost 1 or 2 points. So we'll see what happens here. And if you're just joining us, this is the home court club of Macy Elliott. So the crowd is very vocal.
15 all.
Not to say Ondrejkova Zubori do have a lot of support as well.
And Mother Nature's quite vocal out here, gusting up.
Yeah, the wind, of course you can't control the wind, but all 4 players are controlling their reaction to the wind well. They're not letting it bother them, at least not from what I can see.
I think the key for Ondrejkova Zubori to pull this out is, you know the expression, where's Waldo, Jerry?
Yeah.
I think Waldo is Rodezno when they're hitting their lobs, when Ondrejkova and Zubori are lobbing, and you can see when they can get Rodezno push 3/4 depth, they're really vulnerable, and that just gives them an ability to, you know, to power a shot, forces her into hitting a riskier overhead. That's why I just want the taller player over there on that left side. Been there, experienced, and appreciative. If a team is really effective with
30,
that lob,
15.
to take it away from them up the line.
And you just saw Zubori hit that same spot, and Rodezno let it bounce.
Which I think is a much better strategy than playing a ball from 3/4 depth with the human highlight reel on the other side.
Right, and with Ondrejkova's backhand in the middle, waiting if you don't keep that ball deep, and it's the speed of the overhead like we spoke about. And again, watch where the overheads land on the court. That shadow of the lights is a good benchmark.
That's the one from yesterday. Zubori just handled it beautifully. Talk about a freak of nature athlete, Jerry.
Yeah.
She is one. See, that's what I like to see.
No.
Oh,
Nope. Wrong
30
shot
all.
selection there.
she was too deep to hit that slash type of overhead. But that's what I saw, Jerry, that I was so appreciative of yesterday. Her ability to go from inside-out roller to a slash, moving her grips. But you can't hit that shot from beyond the service line. Or
And also
most
she
people can't.
Hadn't really built the point, and Ondrejkova wasn't out of position for her to try to go in there.
Right, you've got to have Ondrejkova pulled to the middle a little
Right.
bit more and look to then hit that little bit of a slice into that two-score corner.
Oh, nice touch.
I thought she was going over the net, Jerry. I thought she was
40,
going to strike the
30.
ball, drop her paddle, and come over. I don't want to give her any ideas if she happens to watch this.
And it's only fitting that this first game of the third set is a battle.
I mean, if you're Elliott and Rodezno and you look up, you're thinking, what do we have to do to win a point here from the net? You know, Dragon and Zubori have so many answers.
Nice deep lob. That's like textbook Ondrejkova.
I really love the two-handed backhands out of Zubori today. Go ahead.
Is that beautifully placed lob by Zubori, but Macy handled it well. It's attack and counter-attack here. Beautiful lob by Zubori. Wow. And so that's why I just feel that Macy Elliott needs to hit a few more overheads, different spins, but a few more overheads to the same side. So a little bit left, right, left, right.
And you end up working so much harder as a team when you have to continually shift back and forth.
And you create opportunities for your opponents. Catch you in a shift. And that's Zubori step right over in front of Ondrejkova.
Zubori.
Added the heat.
Pretty cool how Zubori didn't really trail the play. She was in Martina's left pocket.
She was going to go get that ball.
Shot.
Now, Ondrejkova, now the sun has moved around. You can see where the shadows are on the court. So Ondrejkova will be looking directly into the sun off of those screenshots. Nice pounce by Zubori.
Advantage Ondrejkova, Zubori.
Oh.
Deuce.
See how quiet and still Elliott stayed on that first volley.
Advantage Elliott, Rodezno.
You're looking to counter the drive. Nice hands by Rodezno. Yep. Just got to watch the speed of her overhead. See, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
Yeah, too scary. Elliott went behind Rodezno and then swung the ball into Ondrejkova's corner. Nice flick. Whoa.
But in a way, I feel like Elliott needs to swing that shot. For somehow that's giving her tremendous mojo to do that.
That was a huge, huge hold by Elliott and Rodezno there. The first time she's really been challenged like that on her serve in a long while.
And there's the ever playful Zubori.
Yeah.
Messing with her friends over there. Jerry, an amazing showing, and with all these talented women in Connecticut. And just a quick opportunity, Jerry, for a shout out for our former friend, great friend, Deirdre Redden, who passed recently, and she is such a force in the APTA, longtime APTA board member, Hall of Fame selection committee member. We've all served on some committees with Deirdre. She was passionate about paddle, just a rock star throughout her life, and our thoughts and prayers are with Ned and her son.
Yep. Yep, well, so Patty, I'm sure she's watching and enjoying this display. She was a staunch supporter of the women's paddle. Really
Connecticut
enjoyed
strong.
This. Yep.
Cordia Worth.
Rodezno again, when she gets that opportunity of getting that ball in her strike zone, shoulder high, waist high, she really loads up her legs. I mean, it's a quiet power, right? It doesn't look like she's thumping it, but it's
Right.
a very heavy ball that she's got.
Jerry, before this match started, if Elliott and Rodezno, dreamed of getting to a third set right here with a 1-love lead over Ondrejkova Zubori,
30-15.
I think so.
it would have been like a dream.
I think she believed.
Oh, I know. But having not been on this stage and, gotten through some of these quarters and semis, that gives you that match experience at a high level that you draw on, that gives you your comfort and your confidence.
I think she does have a little bit of an advantage in that she's been around these temporary courts. She's felt the space. She's probably taught on this court. It's not the first time she's been out here, and I think that's helping her. And I think just playing in front of her membership, get that. She pulls the trigger on that deep ball. That overhead was in the
40-15.
last foot of the court. Nice deep lob by Rodezno. Pulled Zubori out of the service box. That's what you want.
Wow.
Game Ondrejkova Zubori. Games are 1-all, third set.
Jerry, I just haven't seen Elliott and Rodezno play that much this year, and I'm so impressed. And, Rodezno's forehand, I just didn't see it as heavy yesterday and so impactful in the match, but she's spot on here.
All right, so this is the game they need to have a clear strategy
15
to stop
love.
these returner serves.
Right, I'll be curious to see if they do make some adjustments in their positioning. Elliott does play a little bit off the net there, Jerry, kind of shading over to the middle, trying to influence the return a little bit over more from Zubori. Yeah, you saw
Another
Zubori
nick.
move her grip over her battle phase. It looked like one of her
15-all.
amazing topspin forehand drives off the deck, and she hits her overhead so close to that. Same technique used.
15-all, 1-all, third set. This women's quarterfinal, 2020 National Championships. Smart shot by Zubori.
15-30.
Yeah, and all is fair. You're in the court, and Zubori had nowhere to go. She kind of had to hit up. She really had to handcuff Elliott. Otherwise, she would get hit with the next ball.
That's the spin of Elliott's
30-all.
overhead, and then when you caught between them, am I going to let it go into the screen or I hit a block lob? And it's a lively ball, jump long. 30-all.
Wow.
Balls are
Miscalculation right
the
there.
40-30.
Ball is below the level of the net. You can't swing up and hard when the ball is that low.
And Elliott was way over, really wasn't guarding her line at all on the shot.
Elliott needs to close the net.
Deuce.
She's too far off the net when Ondrejkova was hitting that first drive.
Advantage, Elliott, Rodezno.
Talk about the joy is the battle. This is so good.
Yeah, Elliott did a good job just keeping her paddle still. Used her second hand, Jerry. Keep that paddle head above the grip. Just what you were talking about.
Game, Elliott, Rodezno.
So the ball's in the middle of the court, and Elliott was
They lead
sliding
2 games
over.
to 1, third set.
Zubori's got an armpit shot that I don't think she's seeing is available. Just a 3/4 scout shot that's there that's going to make Elliott have to reach to her right, but instead Zubori keeps going through the middle. Unfortunately, she's hitting the tape, but that's a shot because that player is tracking with her.
Nice bet.
You can catch a player reaching.
And sometimes those early ball strikers who are really explosive on their forehands, Jerry, unlike your and mine, our forehands, you know, she just had her eye looking at one spot, so she didn't really realize how far over Elliott was. Shout out to Jean Teotine and Stacy Stevens. A lot of Jersey paddle fans watching here on the live stream. Stacy, a longtime member of the Women's President Cup. So proud of her Region 1 team. Pulling off a huge win on Friday. Shout out to Dan Regan in Texas, in Dallas. We miss you, Dan.
That's the shot. Rodezno lobbed Zubori deep, got the forehand, and then drove it down at her feet. That was a little bit of a tired overhead to me there. Zubori didn't move her feet.
Love 15.
Ondrejkova, look, walking the ball back, giving her a little bit of a fist bump. Come on, let's go, because you could just feel Zubori kind of like went away on that shot. And then bounce right back with a big serve and a highlight two-handed backhand overhead.
Well, of course.
And she goes,
15-all.
see? That's what teamwork's all about, though. The ebbs and flows, you've got to stay together. The teamwork really becomes the third person on the court, and
30,
Zubori
15.
keeps the momentum going with the let cord serve. Zubori was almost on the service line, ready to cover
30-all.
Ondrejkova. Patty, what do you think? The block lob return serve was by design to change up the return look, or a function of Zubori's serve handcuffing her?
I'm going with the handcuffing. You know,
So-
that's a great point, Jerry, because so many club level players commit to, okay, I'm going to drive this return to serve. All of a sudden, someone hits their career serve, and you're kind of in trouble if you go for it and force the shot. So, you know, for Elliott has incredible discipline as well out here to make that adjustment. And it's little things like that, Jerry, that you know makes
40,
a difference
30.
in these matches. And to your point, you can never miss a return to serve. And certainly not in the third
Well-
set, which is an incredible thing to think about.
Deuce.
Well, it's going to be those little things in a match this close.
Ready?
It's
Forehand
going-
drive. Ondrejkova Ondrejkova right here, Jerry, from Elliott. Oh,
That was a little floater.
I would have liked to see her tee off right at that moment. And then let Ondrejkova come up with that shot. Rodezno did it a little bit early in the first set. They've not gone back to it.
Spectacular lob by Rodezno. Pulled Ondrejkova like 3 feet out of the service line, which is a huge risk at this with these weather conditions, these wind conditions. To be able to pull that off. because of the height and depth of the lobs, they're able to negate the spin of the overheads. There it is. There's a big-time play. Talk about build the point and wait for the shot.
Advantage,
Whoa.
Elliott Rodezno.
The home crowd loved it.
Yeah, these stands are really filling up.
Wow, that serve
Yes.
high bounce got a little bit away from Rodezno there.
We need to capture that Elliott two-handed backhand.
Advantage, Elliott Rodezno. Game, Elliott Rodezno. They lead 3-1, third set.
And that was a significant game there, Patty. Put them up 3-1 in the third set with Macy Elliott serving. And she has been able to hold with this, I say, the low and go serve technique.
There's the shot up the line. Zubori recognized it right there. She just had that little alley, a little opening.
Love 15.
And Elliott hadn't shifted to her right quite enough. Great rip.
This is a pivotal game.
Yeah, that swing from Marcella all the way, Jerry, cross court. That's the one that's a little dicey here.
Scary is the word.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping it in Ondrejkova's corner. Ondrejkova is also dealing with the sun. She's looking directly into that sun as she's playing off the screens. And both
15
Elliott and
all.
Rodezno did a good job there of changing up the spin and the depth. Didn't let Ondrejkova step in and tee off.
And Elliott listened to you, Jerry, and you wanted her to just stay on the same side. And certainly if you have the advantage of a player staring into the sun, go for that shot over and over. That momentum
30,
thing, Jerry,
15.
do you feel it?
If Elliott Rodezno hold here,
Wow.
the crowd may levitate.
30 all.
And see, I love that return of serve. In a pressure situation, you know the serve's not going to be the greatest. And Rodezno kind of didn't get her paddle head up above her hands to defend herself on that volley.
Oh, beautiful return by Ondrejkova. A high percentage, straight through the middle, lowest part of the net. All right, we need to get off that camera. I'm getting nauseous. The play is dazzling enough. That's a great angle. Rodezno looks like she scraped herself on the
30,
screen.
40.
Yeah, she was a little deep. She kind of had to flail at the ball. She couldn't get herself to keep going up that side screen.
All right, break point opportunity for Ondrejkova Zubori.
Again, right at Rodezno.
But look at that serve. The serve
Yes.
pulled, went down the tee and deep, and Zubori was going to her right. So it's a hard shot to pull off. She's going to be moving forward to pick that spot.
So she
All
picked
right.
the spot ahead of time. She had to deviate from her plan and just throw that ball through the middle of the court right there on that return. That's what the serve up the middle forces out of you on your returning serve at times.
But big time serving placement from Macy Elliott in the third set of her first trip to a national quarterfinal. And again, that quiet, stealth-like accuracy from Ondrejkova. Sometimes she doesn't get the credit due because she's not the flashy player. But my God, she can really play.
We give her all the credit in the world. We know she's amazing. But Jerry, you know that better than anyone, the success of a team is your parts and what you need to bring to the table. And Zubori provides all this flash this team really ever needs.
Yeah. She knows her role.
Gigantic point here. Wow.
Nice transition.
Just so smooth from Rodezno not to overhit right
Yep.
there.
Because you know the adrenaline is pumping right now. They're keeping with the play, keeping Zubori honest when they need to. This is the scary one right there. You pull Rodezno so far back behind Macy. Great volley. Again, it was the speed and the placement of Rodezno's overhead that countered the lob of Zubori instead of just
Advantage,
running
Elliott
and happy to
Rodezno.
hit it. Took an extra step back, controlled the speed, and they are serving for a 4-1 lead.
There it is again. That shot at Rodezno. I almost think she could get in a
Deuce.
little closer, get her paddle up higher to defend that. Quarterfinal action, 2020 APTA National Championships. Couldn't ask for a better quarterfinal matchup here, Jerry.
Amazing.
Advantage, Elliott Rodezno.
Just a little overjuice from Zubori. She had open court. A little off speed would have gone a long way right there.
Deuce.
And even though the serve was out, Zubori just was on it and firing at Rodezno again. little back and forth, getting a little scary on some of this coverage, Jerry.
And that is a huge hold there.
Yeah, and they avoided hitting each other as well.
Advantage.
She held
Elliott
that ball
Rodezno.
so long on her paddle, and then snuck it in. All right, another opportunity to go to a 4-1 lead.
Kudos for Rodezno for handling that bullet that just, you know, came her way again. Wow, what a volley, Jerry.
Off of her shoelaces. Yeah, it's getting a little too quick, the pace.
Elliott's feeling it, and
Yep.
she's so juiced, and she's
Yep.
bringing that pace to every shot, which does get a little scary, but the woman's got no fear.
I tell you, she's looking very comfortable in the screens in the outside as well. Oh, Zubori thought she had Rodezno. What a get! Oh,
That was the get of Rodezno's life.
Oh,
right
wow. Zubori was almost walking away, and then she's like high-fiving Marcella
Game,
Rodezno. That
Elliott
is so
Rodezno.
great to see. You just got to love
They
the
lead 4-1,
sportsmanship. Anna
third
Zubori.
set. New ball.
All four players, really. I mean, they're having so much fun playing this match.
Martina.
I just know it.
Martina.
Now there's putting in the new ball.
Longtime umpire, Mark Bliss.
What a match, boy. It doesn't feel like 4-1. It feels like, you know, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0.
It feels like 5-all third set. Tiebreaker.
we might get
almost.
there.
Yeah. But just the caliber of play as this match has gone on, Jerry, it's just gotten better and better.
Love. $15 all.
All right, Jerry, have you caught your breath?
Looks like Zubori, especially on her overheads, is just, let's just see if they have to come up with the big shots. She'll, oh, God. I mean,
Wow.
she makes it look so easy, but she's in the strike zone. There's a balance here, right?
15, 30.
They're trying to be consistent. They're trying not to give Elliott an opportunity like that with the spark, yet they've got to remain aggressive.
And I love the maturity of Elliott, Jerry, when she has the ball of life on that
30
forehand.
all.
She can put so much pace on it and make such a heavy ball that she can break down. Phenomenal volleying here. And Ondrejkova and Zubori are a great volleying team. She's not going around anyone, which is the tendency I always think with players who lack some experience on the big stage, but she is showing us so much. Both of these players are. And Rodezno is just playing a spectacular
Wow.
match. Miriam Cruz must be proud watching her former partner out here.
30, 40.
Soon to be mom of twins. Congratulations. Come back and play. We need the Cruz sisters.
Game, Elliott
that
Rodezno.
big
They lead
break.
5-1, third
Wow.
set.
Speed of play here, Jerry.
This would be the hardest game to serve right now for Marcella Rodezno. serving for a spot in the women's semifinals, the nationals. Ondrejkova went for it.
15 love.
She had exactly the look she wanted on her return, Jerry.
Have you heard of the expression Sydney
30
or
love.
the bush? Go big or go home. This is, I need to put the ball in play. Put the pressure on Rodezno's first volley. Just make her hit it. Nice change of pace. Good spot.
Yeah, Zubori held that shot, just set up Rodezno there.
30-15.
Nothing she could do.
And just like that, they have match points.
40-15.
The number 6 seed, who were unseeded, unranked at the beginning of the season, of this paddle season, are serving for the spot in the semifinals. And there it is. Game, set, match. Macy Elliott, Marcella Rodezno. Wow. They had a tough tie break.
Game,
They
set,
came,
and match.
found a way,
Elliott, Rodezno.
came through.
They win
6-4,
6-7,
6-1, and what a
6-1.
display of, I mean, hats off to all 4 players, Zubori, Ondrejkova. Just phenomenal athletes and high-level play. Nobody lost that match.
No. And
That
Jerry,
match was won.
I totally agree that Rodezno and Elliott showed up big time, had the support of the home crowd fans. I mean, all these women are loved by all of the state of Connecticut and all paddle players, but Elliott and Rodezno came up big time there, and I think the return to serve percentage, maybe from Zubori more so than Martina in the end of that match, went way down. Zubori went to the well a few too many times, going at Rodezno a lot, not getting enough returner serves in play to be able to then apply the pressure and build the point for themselves. So not really a surprise, not really an upset, just shocking that it was a 6-1 third set.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like a 6-1 third set until those last couple of games. It was the 4-1 we commented. It was very close. So, wow.
Oh boy. And the day's just underway.
We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to get the winners of the match up in here, and I'm going to have a quick chat to them and get their thoughts on the match and thoughts for their first semi-final coming up. Thanks for the match, Patty.
Thank you for giving me the front row seat, Jerry.
Just going to get better as we go on.
The world of Rolex is filled with stories of perpetual excellence. Since 1990, the Solheim Cup has elevated women's golf. Team USA challenges Team Europe, upholding the traditions of sportsmanship and teamwork. As the women's game grows, the Solheim Cup will continue to shape its future. This is a story of perpetual excellence. The story of Rolex.
I play to be a role model in my neighborhood.
I play to be part of the team. I play to be stronger than my brothers.
I play to channel my energy in a positive way.
I play because the field is where I shine.
I play to be a part of something bigger than myself.
I play to stay healthy. I play to feel powerful.
I play to win.
When people think of Roto-Rooter, they typically think plumbing and water cleanup. They wouldn't be wrong, but there's also more to the picture. We do a little of this, we do a little of that. We clean things up and we check things out. Yeah, we may do both, but we also do a whole lot more. Roto-Rooter. Yeah, we do that too.
The world of Rolex is filled with stories of perpetual excellence. For Rolex and tennis, the tradition began in 1978 and has grown to include the most iconic majors and tournaments since, supporting the legends, champions, and rising stars, committed to the future of the game. This is a story of perpetual excellence, the story of Rolex.
Are we on? Okay, welcome back. We're here with our winners of the women's quarterfinal, Macy Elliott and Marcella Rodezno. And I don't know about you guys, but my heart rate is still up here.
As well it should be, Jerry.
That match was it as much fun to play as it was to watch, Macy?
Oh yeah, it was for me.
It was definitely fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was probably one of the most fun times I've had on a court. That was amazing.
It was. I mean, did you come out with, you have a set strategy?
Yes, we had a set strategy, but it wasn't working at the beginning, so we kind of had to adjust it a little bit.
And now, in the beginning, you mean early in the first set?
Yes,
because
in the first set.
The tiebreaker in the first set, that could have gone either way.
Yes. We were planning to go soft screens to Anna. It seemed to work last time we played them, but this time she was protecting the court more, so we started to go more towards Martina.
They played amazing through the whole match. I mean, but especially that first set, they weren't making many mistakes at all, and the points were very, very long. And we just had to wait, and eventually they came out in the first set. And then second set, we just started swinging.
Well, I'll tell you what I noticed in the second set. You looked, I mean, you were playing at a very high level, but to me, you looked a little ticked off early in the second set because you'd lost that
Mirror.
first set. Yes, but it energized you. You raised your level of game, and you hit a couple of backhands off the deck, which was
that felt good.
surprising.
Yeah, it felt good.
Yeah, I know. You got pumped.
I think we were a little bit frustrated, like nothing was working, and Macy said something that kind of relaxed us more. She said, Marcella, let's just put a good shot. Let's just play our game. Let's go for our drives. Let's play our game. And I think that's what we did, and we just focused 1 point at a time, and I think it worked.
Yeah. I think, guys, we had that talk when we were down 1-3. Like, let's make it a good show, and what happens, happens.
And let's talk about a show that you put on for your membership. How much did having that crowd support help you?
They've been amazing through the entire, this year, me playing more tournaments and stuff, and then especially to see all of them out there, it means a lot. I'm very lucky to be where I am.
Well, they appreciate having you, and also, Marcella, we're in your backyard too. You've got the Connecticut vibes going here.
Yes, I saw a couple of familiar faces, so it was nice to hear the audience screaming, and I think that gave us even more energy. And
perfect.
Yeah,
all right, so I don't know if you've looked at the draw, but you know who you're playing next?
No.
Jardis and Shea, right?
Jardis and Shea, number 3
I
seeds.
look at the draw for her.
I like to play one match at a time.
Have you played them before?
Together, no.
We've practiced once, but not in a tournament, no.
Okay, so
we're excited.
I'm sure you are.
Well, because if the atmosphere was like that for that match, I know Amy and Cynthia are gonna have a lot of supporters from this area too. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, we're gonna see that match later on this afternoon. So you guys go relax, take care of your hand there. I saw you scrape it on the screen, and congratulations, well deserved. Fun match,
Thank you
guys. Really.
Thanks, Jerry.
Impressive.
Thank you, Jerry.
All right, good.